Jehovah's Witnesses love to believe that they know the reason why other Jehovah's Witnesses walk away from the organization. They'll say things like, oh, they were weak, or they just wanted to sin, or they're just bitter, or they're mentally diseased. All the classic excuses. But what if I told you that none of that is true? I was raised in the religion, baptized at age 16, and now being on the outside looking in, I know the truth about why Jehovah's Witnesses walk away. And the Pew Research Center found that 2/3 of people who were raised as Jehovah's Witnesses walk away. 2/3. And when Watchtower tells that cute little story like, oh, they're just immoral or they're serving Satan, those things are not meant to describe ex-JWs. What they're meant to do is to scare the people that stay. So today, I'm going to be tearing all of that mess apart, starting with the biggest lie of all. They just wanted to sin. Classic. Oh yeah, he just wanted to party. She just wanted to sleep around. They just want to be out in the world. I can remember one of my friends growing up ended up walking away from the organization when he turned 18. And I won't say his name, but we used to call him T. And I remember I was talking to my aunt one day and I said, hey, I talked to T the other day and he said that the Kingdom Hall is not for him. And you know what her reply was? Oh, well, that just means he wants a girlfriend. And back then, I took it for face value, like, oh, yeah, probably makes sense. He probably want a girlfriend. But now I'm like, nah, it didn't have nothing to do with a girlfriend. He meant what he said. The Kingdom Hall is not for him. Most likely, he didn't believe that was the truth. Okay? He didn't believe that he should spend the best years of his life knocking on doors for 50 hours a month as a regular pioneer, or hauling off to Bethel and standing in an assembly line, doing quality control on Bibles. Like, it didn't make sense to him. But in my aunt's mind, none of those things could have possibly been the reason. It was just, oh yeah, he wanted a girlfriend. And when they say stuff like, oh, well, they just wanted to sin, it's really the coward route, because you're not really taking into consideration any of the things that it possibly could be or most likely is, such as the ever-changing new light and all of these other things that are questionable and controversial that happen. They never address that. They always take the easiest, laziest way to dismiss someone's entire lived experience. And the reality is, most of us didn't just sprint out of the door. It doesn't really happen like that. People don't usually just hop up and say, oh, I want to smoke. I'm gone. I'm out of here. I ain't coming back. No, it's usually one doubt that won't go away. It's one question. It's one crack in this perfect picture that's been painted for you for the longest time. For me, it was when I started watching the breakdown of those Caleb and Sophia videos, when I started to see how that child indoctrination really runs deep. I thought about myself and I snapped, and I actually talked about that in a separate video. But just sitting there thinking about how my life and my decisions and what I wanted to do was already predetermined for me before I really even knew what was what. For other people, it was the CSA scandals. For some people, it was the flip-flopping doctrines or the blood transfusion policy. Just take your pick. But that doesn't have anything to do with rebellion. That doesn't have anything to do with, oh, they just wanted to sin. That is the moment when your conscience just refuses to keep lying. So no, people don't leave just because they want to sin. People leave because the cognitive dissonance becomes unbearable. People leave because the truth stops matching. They're angry and they're bitter. Yep, next up is the angry apostate stereotype. And look, when you first leave, you might be angry as hell, like I was. And guess what? You should be. But it's not like a petty bitterness like how the current members might try to describe it. It's more so a anger that comes from realizing that you built your entire life on something that turned out to be not what you were told it was. You feel betrayed, you feel lied to, you feel robbed of years that you'll never get back. I had a lot of different interests when I was a teenager growing up, but I put a lot of things on hold because I thought it was more important to pass microphones and try to be a ministerial servant. And then you got to try to backtrack and pick up where you left off. And then you realize, like, well, you could have just been living your life all along. And so, for that reason, yeah, they're right. Some ex-JWs may be angry initially, but it's justifiable. And it's not just anger, it's also grief. Grief for the version of yourself that you had to water down. Grief for the relationships that were taken from you or that you never got to explore. Grief from the childhood that you never got to have. So when they say stuff like, oh, those angry apostates, they're just working for Satan and they're just trying to attack Jehovah's people and all of that stuff, they're saying that because they want to discredit any valid criticism that you have.
Today, Satan continues his work as an evil ventriloquist using not serpents, but human puppets to enunciate his voice, these acting as his agents.
But the truth is, most ex-JWs don't stay angry. We grow, we heal, and then we finally breathe. And once all of those flames die down and that anger burns off that indoctrination, you're typically left with clarity. They're morally lost without the organization. This one is personal. In JW world, morality simply means following the rules, period. When you're a Jehovah's Witness, you're obeying mostly because you're scared. You're scared of the elders. You're scared of Armageddon. You're scared of slipping up and somebody thinking that you're worldly or you're spiritually weak. But once you leave, that rule book is out the window. And so now you have to ask yourself, what is it that I believe is right? And you know what results from that? Typically, it's the opposite of what they say. Most of the time, ex-JWs become more compassionate, more understanding, more ethical. Why? Because now your morals are coming from a place of empathy instead of a place of fear. Once you break free, you learn what real morality looks like, because now you're doing good simply because you want to do good, not because you're being watched. So what's the real reason people leave? If it's not sin, if it's not anger, if it's not moral collapse, then what is it? Well, it's simple. It's self-preservation. High control groups like the Jehovah's Witnesses force you to literally shrink yourself. Don't doubt, don't think, don't feel, don't question. It's a constant psychological war. So leaving, it ain't rebellion, it's survival. It's basically choosing the unknown over top of the slow death of sitting there pretending. So ex-members, we didn't leave to sin. We left because we chose the truth over fear. Ex-members, we're not angry for no reason. We're healing from real, measurable harm, whether current members understand and acknowledge it or not. Former members, we're not morally lost. We're finally getting a chance to discover who exactly we are. So if you are an ex-JW watching this, I'm gonna be frank with you. Stay an ex-JW, okay? Because at one point in time, some of those reasons that I listed were actually working on me. I can remember my family trying to, in a very subtle way, send me text messages with links to the with Zoom links to the meetings, like, not trying to be straightforward about it, but kind of just like, oh, if you want to drop in, here's the link. We'd love for you to check it out and just get some encouragement. And I actually had clicked on that stuff at one point in time, like, hey, maybe, maybe, yeah. I'm telling you, no, okay, no, because you got to remember, they haven't seen what you've seen. They haven't came to the conclusions that you've came to. So the only logical thing in their mind is don't leave, and if you have left, maybe you'll come back one day. But as for me, determined I shall be to, I don't know, try to think of something that rhymes. But anyhow, drop a comment with the biggest misconceptions that you've heard about ex-JWs. Was it the classic ones? Oh, they just wanted to be out in the world? Let me know. If you enjoyed this video, give me a like. And if you want to be a part of a space where you can think and speak freely, then subscribe to the channel. And also, if you'd like to become a channel member where you can get special perks and early access to videos, you can do so for just 99 cents per month. And so for now, dodge the tower, claim your power, and I'll see you on the next one.